So here at Honey Rake, we have this beautiful landscape. I'm gonna get some shots real quick. Oh no!
Well, now I want to teach you a new technique. I've been practicing it for many years.
Bust them! Get in!
I eat, breathe, sleep, cook dogs and decoys. That's what I wake up every morning to go do, and I love it every day.
What's going on, bud?
We're loading up gear. We're gonna go do a little photo shoot with the guide, Cody Frazier. Kind of after hours, dinner time, but we're going after that beautiful light. So why don't you come along with us? I'll show you how it goes.
Hey, Mike did it!
Did what?
My name's Tack Robinson and I run the Confluence Group. The Confluence Group is the marketing arm of Honey Rake. Honey Rake is just an outfitter, and albeit an outfitter, they're the premier outfitting waterfowl operation in all of North America, and we felt like it was in the best interest of the business to create an entity of representation. You know, one of the things that we try to focus on here is we try to be completely in tune to the end user, meaning the consumer, and just trying to cater to everybody's interest, whatever it may be. We try to just keep them inspired visually through compelling photography. And I'm a photography junkie. I love photos. I think photos are one of the most powerful things in the universe. In my mind, it's a lot like music. You know, I don't care what language you speak or what ethnicity you may be. Photography is just a real compelling way to connect with people. And we're all about waterfowl.
Bust them!
I'm really proud of our team, and it starts with our ownership. The way that they trust us to assemble some of the most talented people in the world. I'm humbled by that. But they are, I don't say that lightly, they are the most talented people in the world, but that's not their greatest quality. Their greatest quality is the people that they are. David Cahill, my right-hand man. He is our national sales manager. I've known David for 31 years. David grew up in the heart of waterfowl country there in Stuttgart, Arkansas, and his roots run deep.
Well, I've been in the outdoor trade space for 30 plus years, and Tack Robinson's a good friend of mine. He reached out to me about 3 years ago and said I had an opportunity to come work at a pretty cool place with a pretty cool environment. We had several discussions, and it sounded like the job of a lifetime, so I took advantage of it. For us to be able to put together a team of photographers and videographers and just talented skill set people, and it's a privilege to be able to work with people that have the skill set that these guys do.
Brody's going to be here in front of the gunner.
Yeah.
You're going to be leaning back, all cool and casual, like a cool casual guide would be.
Just be cool.
Then Aaron's going to be behind me, just behind my head, because I want Brody's ears perked up. And he's going to do that with, he's going to be the Cheez-It boy. Okay. He's going to have the Cheez-Its in his hand.
I thought we were using goldfish.
Oh, actually,
We're using goldfish.
He prefers goldfish on Fridays.
Goldfish on
Fridays.
Fridays.
So you just went from Cheez-It boy to goldfish boy.
Goldfish boy.
Did you get the bracket? I'm going to try to get a good exposure of those two together. And then I can send them on. They can go back to the lodge. He can put Brody up and go back to the lodge. And then what I'll do is I'll expose for the sky and the background and all that, and then I'll put the two shots together. And the hard part is going to be getting a good exposure on the sky, and the background is a slow shutter. That dog ain't going to sit still. So no matter what you do, they don't sit still. So you have to shoot them with fast shutters or strobe lights. But we'll see. We'll put them both together. It'll be really cool. Dude, I think we got it. Hold on. Let me just check it.
Well, Buzz Hayes is, I'd call him an old dog in this sport. He has forgotten more about photography than I will ever know. So his skill set goes well above and beyond. I mean, this guy rolls from 4 o'clock in the morning till midnight every day.
Waterfowl photographer gear is a little different. It comes with an extra a side order of mud and dirt.
I don't have enough time and you don't have enough tape for me to tell you what Buzz Hayes means to me. His work ethic is unmatched, you know. His qualifications are just second to none, you know. He spent a stint in the military. I think he's third generation 82nd Airborne. And his story is just ultra compelling, you know, just had an interest in photography and he's just dedicated himself to being the best that he can be. And, you know, the title that Buzz carries is he's our Director of Brand Integrity. There is absolutely zero learning curve when it comes to Buzz.
When it comes to outdoor photography, everybody has their style. Buzz's favorite thing is just shooting birds flying. He just gets eaten up by it.
Buzz is that guy out there with the 300, you know, in the decoys with a ghillie suit on, just standing on the shutter and catching these birds coming in just full speed. The pellets are in the sky, feathers all over the place. You know, they're all whacked out from getting shot this way and that way. Buzz's ability to catch focus on these birds at full speed is, I've never seen anything like it. You know, it's unmatchable.
So that's where I'll put my tripod. I'm Patrick Hayes. Buzz, they call me Buzz, named after my great-grandfather. I am the photographer and the brand management specialist here at the Confluence Group. Well, I grew up hunting, so you know, the same thing that gets me excited when I get ready to take some photos of ducks coming in or dogs retrieving, it's the same thing that gets a hunter excited. These incredible visuals of birds flying by and the sound and all that, I get the same excitement that a hunter gets. I started just shooting locally at home in Virginia. I started shooting images of guys hunting, me and my friends hunting, and started showing those images to folks. And then eventually some people started to take notice and started trying to hire me or hiring me to create outdoor images for them. I wasn't targeting the outdoor market. I wanted to spend more time outside, and I figured if I could make a little money, then I'd be able to stay out there. So I'm the head photographer. I've got a couple guys working with me, and I'm the only one full-time. So it's year-round. I almost shoot almost every day. And during waterfowl season, I'm camped out here at Honey Break.
He's got two guys that work with him that are the young millennium guys that are so gifted in this social world. And we're so blessed to have these guys and this talent and this skill set. It's just, the team is staggering good.
And then we have a crew of young bucks, you know, Aaron Davis and Andrew Klatte. Again, I don't even have the words to describe just how talented these young people are.
Aaron Davis and Andrew Klatte and myself, I mean, I feel like we're pretty strong. We all kind of complement each other's work.
Aaron shoots super bright, vibrant stuff, some of the sharpest photography work I've ever seen in my life, and he's only 24 years old, which is just crazy. I am the opposite. I like shooting the dark, grittier, you know, the nighttime stuff, the rain and mud. The grittier, the better for me. My name's Andrew Klatte. This is my first year here working for Confluence at Honey Break. So my degree is actually in graphic design. I didn't go to school for photography. I did a bunch of graphic stuff for advertisements, and it kind of evolved from that into them giving me a camera, and I was shooting content for my own ads and, you know, graphic platforms, into I was just in the field 24/7. I didn't even work on the computer anymore. I fell in love with it. Yeah.
Here's a little story that must be told. Here's a little story that must be told.
My name is Aaron Davis. I'm an outdoor photographer, and I work with the Confluence Group. When it comes to creating content, Buzz, Andrew, and I, you know, we're working here at Honey Break every day in the field, but at some point, it gets pretty competitive. And don't get me wrong, we're a team. At the end of the day, we want to get the job done. But the competition really drives each one of us to be better each day. I think if it was just one of us out here shooting, you could get complacent pretty easy. You could go out there and shoot and just feel good about what you shot. But when you come back and I'm like, hey Buzz, look at this shot. And he says, dude, I one-upped you. Mine's way better. That's how, you know, that creates that competition that makes us better. It makes us work harder. It makes you want to go out there every day and not be complacent with what you're at, but know that, all right, Buzz is out in a different blind and he's crushing it. I already know it, so I got to have something better than his.
I mean, I feel like we're pretty strong. We all kind of complement each other's work. Of course, my images are usually a little bit better, but you know, those guys back me up pretty well.
You thought you had cool content until you work with Buzz Hayes. And the same with Aaron Davis. Working beside those guys is just the coolest thing ever. You know, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, it's a healthy competition, and it doesn't stop in the field. When we get back on the computers and when we're editing at night, we're looking at each other's images and trying to decide who shot it best.
We want to have that best shot of the day. We want that shot to go on the Honey Break social media. Buzz will ask us like, all right, what are we posting today? And me, Andrew, and Buzz will all pull up our best shots of the day, and we'll be like, we'll compare them and see, you know, who's got the best shot of the day. I think that's pretty cool.
It's like who wore it best? Who shot it best is how we do it.
You've got to wake up with that mentality of, I don't care how cool yesterday's shoot was, or you know, a shot I got yesterday or the day before, or how cool this edit was. You've got to push the limits of what you can do with the camera, and then in Photoshop and in Lightroom, you know, every single day. Otherwise, you know, you'll never progress to being any more than you are the day before. So I really believe if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Or if you're not getting better, then somebody else is.
One of the shots I wanted to get this year was a pintail drake landing in the decoys. 3 days ago that happened, and it's just an amazing image, and I envisioned it, and it happened just like I thought it might. As a photographer, this is one giant studio. Obviously the land is awesome, we've got tons of ducks, but we have the best dogs, guides, gear that you can have if you're shooting waterfowl images. So it's a joy, it's easy. I think it's easy, and it's a pleasure to work here.
I think my favorite thing about coming down to Honey Break every year is just knowing that the opportunities are going to be there. You might go out and hunt somewhere else and it might be a little slow, but you can always count on coming to Honey Break, and there's a lot of action. There's always something to shoot.
Working at Honey Break as a photographer is the greatest canvas you could ask for as a waterfowl photographer.
It is extremely important to be able to have a studio and have access to do this every day. So we've got everything from waterfowl to deer to predator to really anything we need to shoot for any client, we have access to do it here on one piece of ground. We never run out of quality of inventory. So when you start running into late spring, early summer, we still have extremely good quality content that hasn't been utilized yet. So we can provide this to a client 12 months a year, which is a very, very big asset for us, because not many people can do that. We can do that.
What you see through the Honey Break experience lens is just the tip of the iceberg. You know, we're blessed and we're honored that our partners in Realtree have recognized what we have going on down here. A couple of statistics for you. Honey Break is the largest WRP contract in North America. So Catahoula Lake just 13 miles to the west of us, and it winters 80% of the waterfowl in the Mississippi Flyway. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. In this duck hunting stuff, it all boils down to location, location, location. Some people call it, the X spot and all that kind of stuff, but it all boils down to location. And coupled with the team of people that we're here, that we are fortunate to have here, to be able to service and share this, I mean, that is the fuel that keeps our fire lit.
Cards burning, we earning. Don't use that. You can't use that. Don't use that.
When I started this gig 3 years ago, we had 2-3 partners. We had one still photographer, no video guys. It was all subcontract. We have doubled in size in the last 3 years, and the sky's the limit, because the quality of the production of what we generate every day is so needed in the outdoor space and the environment that we work in. I mean, in 5 years, there's no telling where this group's gonna be.
Confluence is so new, you know, only a few years old. And to think that and where we are now, working with some of the partners that we have and clients that we have, to imagine where Confluence will be 5 years or 10 years down the road it's just crazy. It's mind-blowing.
All right, we'll do it your way. Spot. There, she got it. She got a good grip on it. Don't let her in. Hey, look. Spot, look. Ooh, that was nice. Thank you. At least I got one shot out of that deal. Thanks, girl. Sometimes you got to make cool photos happen because they don't happen naturally. So we're trying to, working with dogs is like working with little kids. You just got to be really, really patient and really, don't get upset when it doesn't happen right away. It'll happen eventually. You just got to take your time. Well, so a lot of times what we do if we're doing a posed shot where she might be holding a duck, of course we'll wipe off any dirt and gunk off their face, but we'll actually put water on them so that you know, it looks more like she just brought it up. See, a lot of times they'll bring a duck up and or on a retrieve they'll bring it back and they're not holding it in a really good position to show the bird off. So we'll reposition it in their mouth, put a little water on her face, and make it look like honor the duck a little more with a better picture. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes for those beautiful shots. It's just not snapping away. There's a lot of prep work ahead of time, and there's a lot of production and post-production to make those shots, you know, beautiful enough for us to use them.